Welcome back to Ask Diz. I'm Diz, and this is a show where I answer your most pressing running questions. Let's do this. Today's question comes from Virginia, and Virginia asks, I'm training for a half with the goal of setting a big PR. I'm thinking that after that race might be a good time to go for a PR in the 5K. If that sounds like a decent plan, how long after my half should I sign up for a couple of 5Ks? It's a great question, Virginia, and your logic is spot on. It really, truly is. As far as using a longer race, whether it's a half, whether it's a full, whether it's an ultra, whether it's a 10K, doesn't matter. Using the training and building up for a longer distance to help set you up to then try to hammer it for the shorter distance, for the 5K or whatever would be lower, for the half marathon if you're training for the full, or the 10K if you're training for the half, or whatever. I think you get what I'm trying to say here. It's a great way to do it because what you're doing when you're training for that longer distance, in your case, Virginia, the half marathon, you're really focusing on building your base and making sure that your fitness level is tip top. Especially you're trying to not only just train for a good half marathon, but set a big PR for it. So I know that you're gonna be training well. You're gonna be building that smart plan that really kind of helps you peak for your race. Probably mixing in some speedier stuff, maybe some fast finish long runs in there. Maybe some speed intervals, whatever it is. You're going to be doing some different things to help build some speed while hopefully prioritizing, and if not, I'm going to encourage you to prioritize building the base, which is with the easy runs. Those easy foundational runs are so important when you're going to try to push hard over a longer distance like 13.1 miles for this upcoming PR half marathon attempt. Not in a bad way, but if the plan then is to peak for that race and then come off it and try to throw down some fast times in the 5K, very doable. How do you set that up? When should you plan to try to run those 5K races? So it's a hard one to answer specifically because it all really depends on how your recovery goes post half marathon. So you're training up, you're building up, leading up to that half marathon. You're going to run it hard, which means that odds are you're going to be sore for a little bit afterwards. You're going to want to take some time to recover. Hopefully enough time to go at least pain-free +3, which if you're new to my world, pain-free +3 is my kind of standard formula to help you determine when you're ready to start running again after a good hard race. So basically you wait until you're pain-free and then wait 3 more days. So on that third day after you're totally pain-free, the legs feel good, going up and down the stairs, getting up and down off of a chair or the commode, you're good. You don't feel anything in your quads, in your glutes, in your calves, anything. You're good to go. On the third day after that, start running again. So for some folks, depending on how the race goes, that might be 3 or 4 days. Sometimes that might be 10 days or 2 weeks. Might be a little bit longer. A lot of times it's somewhere in the middle, but wait until you're pain-free +3. So all that to say, Virginia, in your situation, it's tough to say exactly when you should plan for the races, the 5K races, to try to target a couple of them to really go after it, run them hard, and hopefully, end a month or 2 streak where you have a big half marathon PR and a big 5K PR all at the same time, or all through the same kind of training cycle, training buildup. It's tough to nail it down. So what I would say, if you're looking at kind of local 5Ks, which tend to be something you don't have to sign up for a long time in advance, you've got a lot of options if that's kind of the situation that you're finding yourself in, which I'm assuming is the case, but y'all know what happens when we assume. I might be missing the mark here completely. But if that's the case, you train for your half marathon. You go all out on half marathon day, run it intelligently, hopefully create a good race day plan, strategy of how you want to execute the race, execute your plan, come back with that shiny medal, big PR, and then enjoy as much time as you need to rest and recover. Maybe mix in a little cross training, a little yoga, some things like that to help keep you moving, but avoid the pounding until you're pain-free +3. Then start looking at the calendar. If you're pain-free +3 on a Thursday, you may not want to try to race 2 days later on a Saturday. But the next week, 9 days later, might not be a bad time to get after it. That'll give you a couple of times, couple of days in those 9-day periods, or in that 1 9-day period, to get a couple of easy runs in. Maybe get an easy 4 or 5 miler in on that upcoming weekend after your pain-free plus 3. A couple of easy runs during the week. Maybe mix in a stride or two to just kind of get some leg turnover, but not a pounding hard race type of thing. And then that following weekend, give it to it. See what happens. And you might be surprised that your first really hard run after that half marathon, you might blow your PR in the 5K completely out of the water because you're running hard, but you're only running hard for 3.1 miles as opposed to running pretty hard for 13.1 miles, which, I mean, a lot of people know where I stand on the 5K. It's not my favorite distance. It hurts too much. I'd rather run 26.2 or 13.1 because it doesn't hurt quite as hard. Hurts longer, but not as much. But coming out of a half marathon cycle, coming out of a marathon cycle, I know a lot of people that are able to do that within 2 weeks, 3 weeks after their race, go out there and just hammer a 5K, feel pretty strong, and really throw down a solid time. So that would be kind of the time frame that I would give you, is to look, probably 2 or 3 weeks out. But if you don't have to sign up for those 5Ks earlier than the day before or a couple days before, just wait, see how you're feeling, see how your body's responding coming off the half marathon, and then somewhere, a week, 10 days after you're pretty much pain-free and feeling good to go, that would be the first time to sign up. Then give yourself another 3 weeks. That way you can recover down a little bit off of that 5K, get a couple of good training runs in, a couple of good long runs. I would encourage you to keep your long run volume after that half marathon a bit higher. Not that you have to, but if you can keep that long run in the 8 or 10 mile range, even 6 to 8 miles, but maybe even a little bit higher, 7, 8, 9, that's going to keep your base strong and allow you to really push hard and hopefully not fade too much at the end of the 5K. Because that's where people typically get in trouble, is they go off like a shot and kind of struggle home in the last mile or half mile of the 5K. So if you can maintain that a little bit better, which doing those little bit longer training runs will do, which is why coming off of a longer distance training cycle can be very helpful, that might be the recipe to not just one 5K PR, but 2 or 3 of them over a month or month and a half period. So I hope that helps, Virginia. I hope that gives you an idea of kind of when to think about scheduling those races. And again, if you don't have to commit to it too early, just wait, and make sure that you're feeling good after the half marathon. But I would say 2 or 3 weeks after the half marathon is probably the first time. And then, you could probably do every week, but better every 2 or 3 weeks after that. Schedule out 2 or 3 more over the next month and a half, and give it hell. See what happens. And let us know how it goes, hopefully with a bunch of new PRs coming after it. So, Virginia, thank you for the question. If you have other questions, or anybody watching, if you have questions, askdiz@dizruns.com is the email address. Send me your question. Send me a voicemail with your question. That's even better. That's the icing on the cake. That's pretty much the for sure way to get your question on the show. You send a voicemail, it will get played. Although right now we don't have that many questions in the hopper. So if you just send a question, it's probably going to get answered. But if you send a voicemail, it goes to the top of the list. Just saying. That's how the sausage gets made around here. But askdiz@dizruns.com is the email address. Send your voicemail there. Just record a voice memo on your phone and send it my way. Or you can send a text version. I'll read your question. We'll be okay. Askdiz@dizruns.com. So, Virginia, thank you for the question. Hope that was helpful. Hope your training cycle for your half marathon goes great. And then I hope that's the perfect springboard into some good, hard, fast 5Ks. But you got this, lady. And if you have any other questions, just let me know, all right? Thank you all for watching. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. If it was, spread the word. Always appreciate that. And until next time, be good, all right? See you.